Hi everyone, my name is Nanda and today I'm going to be talking about my first impression of Poland, as well as the things that I like and the things that I like less about Poland. Please go easy on me. And for those of you who are wondering about how I got here in the first place, I would encourage you to watch my first video. I will put the link somehow, somewhere, for you to be able to access it, to give you better ideas and understanding before we get started. So frankly, when I first heard about Poland, I actually had to open a map to see where it actually is. I'm not proud of it, but that's what happened. Frankly, it wasn't, Poland wasn't the country that I aim for. Like many people, and I guess, many teenagers, I dreamt about going to France or Germany or Netherlands, but never Poland. However, when that opportunity came up, I just couldn't say no. I just had to go and see Poland with my own eyes, and I'm so happy that I did. Before I went to Poland, many of my relatives showed their concern. They kind of believe that, Westerners are very individualist. Maybe it is true, but they kind of misunderstood it as if I were in trouble, then nobody would help me, which wasn't true, especially in my case, because when I landed in Poland, on my very first day, I couldn't find my luggage because, I missed my connecting flight and my luggage was nowhere to be found. But there was this person who also kind of like was looking for his luggage, and he helped me to locate my luggage, and he also helped me to contact a taxi driver that was sent by my hosting organization, and we went to the train station together, and I was handed to another stranger that was kind enough to tell me, where to get off the train. So even on my very first day, I was greeted with so much kindness. I know that I was very lucky, but like it kind of, I have it very deep within me that it was just so much kindness, and I was very, very thankful at the end of the day. So it was my very first impression of Poland. So let's start with the things that I like less about Poland. So hopefully I can, make up for it later on the video. But it actually took me some time to come up with, the things that I don't really like about Poland. But I came up with two things. The first one is how long I had to wait for getting my first residence permit. It actually took me 4 years of waiting, and I also had to hire a lawyer to be able to get it. And to give you an idea that I couldn't travel out of the country during those 4 years. I mean, I could, but then I would need a visa to re-enter Poland again. So it was just too much hassle when it comes to the paperwork. It was also pretty expensive, so it wasn't an option for me. I know that, with the whole thing in Ukraine right now, it is very overwhelming. I can imagine how overwhelming it gets, with such unfortunate event that is happening right now. However, I believe that there are some room for improvement, and especially the fact that most of the time we are left in the dark. I feel that we don't get enough information or details about, where our applications are, or, when we can expect getting our residence permit, or what we can do to speed it up. So I think that, if we would like to improve and make these baby steps, I think that we can start with that one, to give more information and details. So, and the second thing is maybe the language. I think that Polish language is notorious to be very hard and extremely challenging. I do speak a little bit of Polish, and I tried to learn the language more seriously the past, but it got too much and I kind of had given up, the learning process. However, I'm planning to pick it up again in the future. Um, but the thing is, many people in Poland do speak English, especially the young ones. So probably that's also one of the reasons why I don't feel any urgency to learn the language seriously. However, I do believe that it is worth it as I do speak some Polish. It was not easy, but like it helps me to, like run some errands, going to the post office. I gave birth to my son here in Poland, so I was able to communicate with the nurses and the doctors using Polish. So I think that at the end of the day, um, it is very useful and it is very important to learn the language, no matter how hard it is. But I think that it is possible to learn the language. All right, so that's about it. Probably you were wondering why I didn't mention the weather. I don't really mind the weather. The summer is very hot here, and the winter, unfortunately or fortunately, has been pretty short and warm. I also didn't mention any racism and discrimination because, believe it or not, I have never experienced it here in Poland. There were like some stirrings, maybe like when I got here, I felt that it was more obvious for me that there were some stirrings, but it wasn't the kind of stirring that, oh, you don't belong here or go home or whatever it is. It was pure curiosity, and right now I don't even feel it anymore. I'm not sure if people are more used to kind of foreigners, or I just don't notice it as much anymore. But the bottom line is that I feel belong here. I feel belong just fine here in Poland. Okay, so let's talk about the things that I like about Poland, the things that I like about living in Poland. The first thing is that I feel very safe here. As you may know, that I came from an archipelago country. We have many natural disasters. We have tsunamis, we have earthquakes. We also have different kind of animals that can attack you and make you sick, like some mosquitoes or some snakes. Um, we don't have that in Poland. We don't have as many natural disasters. I also feel that, it doesn't have to be very big things. It can be a simple fact as, I can go for a walk safely, comfortably. Here in Poland, I can go for a walk with my baby or my family, which is something that we cannot do in Indonesia since we don't have any sidewalks. Also, with the whole safety thing, I think that Poland takes it very seriously. I'm not sure if it's true, but I kind of get the sense that Poland is quite strict when we're talking about immigrations and stuff. Don't get me wrong, I'm an immigrant myself, but I applaud, the idea of protecting your own citizen first before giving out a helping hand. I think that it is very controversial, what I just said there. But I don't know, like, what do you think? Do you have any ideas at all about what Poland should do in current situation. And the second thing is Polish people are very kind despite the lack of, smile or unnecessary small talks. People are very helpful over here. Also, well, despite of the complaining, I wouldn't like categorize it as a good thing or a bad thing. But it is curious for me, like where this tendency or habit to complain came from. Is it like because of the history or the painful past? Is it because that's how people are raised over here? Is it a generational thing? I don't know. Like, I just don't get it. I cannot wrap my head around, this whole complaining thing because, you have comparing to, what I went through in Indonesia, you have pretty great country over here. So I don't really get the whole complaining thing. Is it like really, is it genuine kind of unhappiness or is it just a cultural thing? I don't know. What do you think? The next thing is the public transportation. It is fairly clean and fairly on time. It is pretty easy to get to places here in Poland. It is pretty well connected, in my opinion. People and the passengers are pretty considerate. So yeah, it is very nice to get around the cities, to get around places in Poland. Last but not least, we have pretty great food. Over here, my favorites are rosu, which is chicken soup. I also like gołąbki, which is like cabbage rolls with rice and ground meat filling that are soaked in tomato sauce. I love, of course, pierogi, which is dumplings with different kind of fillings. We have, my favorite is, I'm not sure if we still call it that way, but pierogi ruskie with potato and cheese filling. We also have the sweet versions of strawberry and blueberry, I guess. And oh, I cannot forget, carpfish. It is kind of a tradition to eat carpfish at Christmas Eve. My favorite is when they are fried and all crispy and crunchy. We also have a lot of pastries here, great pastries. What I can think of are pączki, which is kind of like donuts with different kind of fillings, and sernik, which is a Polish cheesecake. All right, so it has been a pretty long video and pretty heavy one, pretty controversial. Kind of scared of uploading this, but okay. Anyhow, I hope that this video comes across as something with good intention and helpful, and hopefully that I didn't offend anybody at all. Never my intention. And yeah, so if you have any questions, if you have any ideas or whatever it is, then feel free to comment and let me know. And I would be very happy to hear your opinions and we can discuss stuffs on the comment sections. I would love to have that. All right, but thank you so much for being here and I'll see you soon, maybe. Bye.